On 8 out of 10 Cats does Countdown. Sean Locke, John Richardson, Paul Foote, Angela Barnes, Dr. John Cooper Clarke, Susie Dent, Rachel Riley, and your host, Jimmy Cobb.
Hello and welcome to 8 out of 10 Cats Does Countdown, a show about letters, numbers and conundrums. If you've never seen the show before, the game is simple, as are the contestants. Let's meet them. First up, it's team captain John Richardson. John recently became vegan. Well, to be fair, he was already feeble and boring to talk to, so why not? And John's teammate Angela Barnes. Angela wears hearing aids. Here's a tip: if you want to stay awake till the end of the show, take the one on John's side out. Up against them this evening, it's team captain Sean Locke. Sean Locke, a comedian, a husband, a loyal friend. Just some of the people Sean has killed with a hammer. And joining Sean tonight is Paul Foote. Paul Foote, or as children call him, that was him. Angela, it's your first time on the show. How do you think you'll do?
I think I'll be all right with the letters, because I was really good at spelling tests at school. But I was a bit of a girly swat, and I think I had to be, because my dad ran a sex shop for a living. He was a naturist, an atheist, a swinger. I had to join the Christian youth group just to piss him off. Sneak out the house every Saturday afternoon. I'd come back in, he'd say, "I know where you've been, young lady. You smell of Vimto and ping pong."
John, do you have any rules for visitors who come to your house?
I never ask people to take their shoes off, because I hate that when I go to someone else's house and they make you take your shoes off. I think it's ridiculous. I don't know what's on your carpet, do I? But I do ask people to take their glasses off when they come into my house. I find it rude. I think it's an insult to my hosting. So implying that I'm going to hide stuff or not help you up the stairs.
How do you feel about visitors that just turn up without... Because we used to do that all the time, didn't we, in the 80s? On a Sunday afternoon, that's what we did. Dad would go get in the car, going to visit someone.
Well, your dad did, because he was a swinger.
Well,
Paul, do you mind me asking you, how did you prepare for this evening, Paul?
Oh, well, I've been doing a lot of anagrams and specialising in supermarket anagrams, like this one here. Tesco Value Range is an anagram of a gravestone clue. And not only is it a supermarket anagram, but it's an appropriate supermarket anagram, which is the most difficult type to do, you see. And also, you can see all the lines to see the correspondences. This is another one. I've done 3, you see. Sainsbury's store.
Oh, yeah, it is
Sainsbury's store
together, yeah.
is run by a tosser.
And it checks out.
It checks out. You can see all the look, see all the arrows. It's all there. You can see everyone.
That's perfect.
Yeah, you can see it. A third one, it's all good practice for the game. Asda Supermarket.
Yes, it is.
Believe it or not, that is an anagram of a sad supermarket. That's what I've done to prepare.
OK. Sean?
Yes, Jimmy?
Sean, where in the world do you feel most at home?
I tell you where I'm happiest, Jimmy, is on my mink farm. I love it there. Just being among the mink. A lot of people get a bit upset by it. They say, oh, well, you shouldn't farm them for their fur. And I say, well, I don't, actually. I farm them for their looks. I wait till they're really, really, really cute, and I take a picture of them. And I don't know what happens to them after that. This fella comes and collects them, but I don't think he uses them for the fur, because he always wears, like, a leather apron.
Complaints to the usual address. John, you got a mascot?
I have, yes. I find that I'm actually quite a calm person. But very often I find the people around me are quite tense. So I want to pass on some of my knowledge. So I've written a sort of self-help meditation book called Relax. It's John Richardson. I wanted to call it Open Wide and Let Me In. So, chapter 1, sitting down. Try to find a symmetrical armchair, or else sit on the middle seat of a 3-seater sofa. You could try sitting dead centre of a 2-seater sofa, but frankly, the sensation of the seam, unless positioned perfectly along the spine and down the perineum, will prevent any chance of true relaxation. Chapter 2. Appropriate footwear and the perils of wearing slippers without socks.
Perils?
You can't wear slippers without socks. The smell, man. Anyway, page 93. We are ready to begin breathing. The final preparatory exercise is a good nose blow. Nothing is more stressful than a rogue bogey or snot flap clicking open on the in-breath, closing with a whistle on the out-breath.
So what is it called? What's the technical term for
A
that?
snot flap.
Oh, a snot flap.
You find them a lot amongst people who travel by train. I know a lot of people don't have chance to read books, so there is an audio version available, read by me, in my sexiest voice. And that is available here. This is the only copy. So you can relax.
John's relaxation, everyone. And now, Angela, do you have a mascot?
I find... Well, I think it's good to be a pessimist, right? I always imagine the worst-case scenario. There's a worst-case scenario that is always the worst-case scenario in any given situation, and that is a nuclear bomb. So back in 2015, I went on eBay and I bought an original 1980 copy of the Protect and Survive booklet, which was given to households to tell you how to protect you and your family in the event of a nuclear attack. And I love it, it calms me down. Do you want to see some of my favourite bits?
Yeah, sure.
Chapter 1, first thing it says is everything within a certain distance of a nuclear explosion will be totally destroyed. So it could have ended there, really. Here we are on page 7. It tells you how to plan your fallout room within your house. Very important to build your own fallout room. Of course, this came out in 1980, which was about a year before my parents' divorce, so every room was a fallout room in those days.
I can't believe your dad's marriage didn't last.
I know, mad, isn't it?
I thought for sure a swinger with a sex shop, that'd be fine.
My favourite bit is the advice about what it gives you to keep in your fallout room. So you're supposed to build a fallout shelter in your house. You take down the doors, put them against the walls.
Take the doors off, put them against the wall.
I think what they're actually doing is getting you to build your own funeral pyre because there's no fucking way you're going to survive anyway. So that's my mascot. Makes
I
me
think that's a
calm.
very good mascot. I don't know how badly the show's going to go, but you're prepared. Paul,
Yes.
have you got a mascot?
Oh, yes, I have. I brought it with me. It's my nutmeg grinder. And the reason I brought it is because, obviously, we're comedians, so we make jokes. That's our job. But sometimes you can make a joke in real life, like an actual real-life joke. Like, for example... And they're not necessarily the funniest, but they're just appropriate for that moment. So I ordered this from my local hardware store, and then my plan was to go in and say, do you have grinder, nutmeg grinder? But I kind of messed it up, and I sort of said, do you use grinder? Which is not... in fact, I didn't actually... What I actually said was, do you meet up with men for sex? On Grindr. So I've got that now, and I don't even like nutmeg. And also, I bought this miniature shopping trolley, and I thought that would go in there, but it doesn't even really fit. So I have no real use for those things. That's why I thought I'd bring them as a mascot. I mean, does anyone want any nutmeg? It's a genuine nutmeg grinder. You can get the nutmeg.
Mm. And that's how we consume nutmeg. Of course. Of course. The traditional way to... Some of you may put a sprinkle on the top of a coffee or something, but actually licked off the palm of an unsanitised hand is actually the preferred method.
I mean, you could eat your nutmeg off that. He's clean as a whistle.
No, I'm fine.
Sean, have you got a mascot?
Yes, I do, Jimmy. Since the dawn of time, man has felt the need to understand whereabouts he is and what is happening around him, hasn't he?
Yes.
And I think one of the greatest puzzles that was solved by man was time itself.
Oh.
That great need to mark that. Anyway, I've done a funny calendar. So here's my calendar, and surprisingly, it starts in January. There we go. That's January.
Talk me through what's going on in that photo.
Well, it's cold, isn't it, January? So I thought I'd show how cold January was. Anyway, that's February. So it's still cold. I've taken my hat off.
Wait.
I'm taking my hat off and I'm taking my scarf off.
Yeah, but why the spatula?
Pancake day. March.
Was this a long photo shoot for the calendar?
There we go. That's April. Oh. I think we can put the coat away. Things are really hotting up.
Wow.
And my flies are undone. That's to commemorate April Fools. Okay, moving on. Hey! It's getting warm now, it's June. July. It's really getting warm, got a bit of a tan, and the British Grand Prix on. There we go, August. Look at that.
Is that...
Why have I got a remote, Jimmy? Kids are on holiday. There we go, there's a bra full of couscous for September.
Well, I don't want to... A bra full of couscous?
Yeah. The chances of you working that one out.
To expand your breasts. So you pour hot water down and then they go out.
Anyone else? You are going to kick yourself. Or me. Well, it's the Turner Prize. That's October. Last wasp. Now we have November. November, swap traditional November outfit. Any questions, Jimmy?
Why have I got a semi?
Well, why haven't you got a fully? And then there's Christmas. Look at me. Got a little roll of sellotape there.
Sean's calendar, everyone! Over in Dictionary Corner, it's legendary performance poet Dr. John Cooper Clarke. John Cooper Clarke is 70, although he doesn't look a day over. Died 10 years ago. Obviously, you're a wordsmith. Are there any words you wish didn't exist?
I'm glad you asked that question, Jimmy, because literally, but only in the way that it is currently used. I was on a train and I was listening to two women talking about a mutual friend whose marriage had obviously gone up the pictures. And this line jumps out of the conversation. He treated her like shit, literally. I was out of my seat. Surely, madam. Surely, figuratively in this. That's what's put the bug up my ass.
Literally.
Literally.
And with John, of course, is Susie Dent. Susie has a podcast. She does it in her kitchen with Giles Brandreth, and afterwards they light a cigarette and do a podcast.
Definitely not.
Susie, are there any rude words that people use without knowing?
I guess the classic is Burke, isn't it? Everyone knows about Burke.
What? So, what about Burke?
Rhyming slang, Berkeley Hunt.
Oh.
That's why I call you Burke all the time.
And in charge of the numbers, it's Rachel Riley. Rachel's a mathematician, so hopefully she can answer some of my maths questions. 1, what's a bell curve? And 2, what's it doing in my trousers? Rachel, what's the worst thing about being pregnant?
I know all parents think that their child is, like, clever, but this one, it's worked out. It's been trying to find the exit routes for a while, so it's been going, you know, the usual kicks in the stomach. And now it's realised that the best way out is down, so it frequently punches me in the vagina from the inside. You know.
I think you've got a wrong un there.
OK, tonight the prize the teams will be competing for is this, the Countdown Tap Dancing Shoes. OK, let's count down, everyone. Time for the first game. Sean, Paul, you get the first pick of the letters.
Could I have a letter? Yeah, I'll have a letter.
Yeah.
Are you feeling confident?
W.
Yeah, I'm feeling confident, yes.
OK, go for it.
I've given you a W to start.
Oh, W, that's nice,
Yeah.
thank you. May I have an E? That would be nice, please.
Yeah, no problem.
Another vowel? Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe have another vowel, please, Rachel.
A.
Consonant, please.
R.
Could I have an I?
Sure.
Probably a couple of consonants at least 2.
N. H.
Oh,
And another one, I'd reckon.
yeah.
T.
Well, go for consonant.
Consonant.
G.
OK. And for the first time today, here's the countdown clock.
I'd like to be under the sea.
Angela informs me that she has a phobia of fish. And your tongue.
It's all right, it's dead now. Paul, how many?
Oh, well, I've got a load of 9-letter words. Loads of them.
Sean, how many letters?
8.
8, OK. John, how many?
Yes, just an 8.
Angela, how many?
I've got an 8. I'm not sure about, but I'm going to stay safe with a 7.
Stay safe.
Yeah. Oh, fucking hell!
Oh, my God, you do not like fish.
No, I really don't.
You know something's repulsive when someone turns to me.
Angela, you're 7.
Hearing.
Sean?
Grating.
Grating.
Grating. Yeah.
Yeah, use the G twice, just run round.
All right, gyrating. All right, piss off.
John, you're 8.
Earthing.
Very good.
Paul, your 9-letter word. One of your 9-letter words. Just one of them would be fine.
Nightwear.
Fantastic.
Oh, wow.
18 points to Paul. Double points. On to our first numbers round. OK, John, Angela, you get to pick the numbers.
Please.
Can I have 2 big ones, please, and 4 little ones?
You've got 9, 2, 4, 2, 25 and 75. And the target, 647.
And your time starts now. So the target was 647. Angela, did you get it?
636, I think.
No. OK. John, did you get it?
650-ish.
Sean, did you get it?
Yes.
Of course you did, you golden god, you. Paul, did you get it?
I got it.
Well, Paul, how did you...
9 times 75.
975, 675.
675. Then 25 plus 4.
25 plus 429.
29. 2 divided by 2 is 1.
Yep.
And then take the 1 away from the 29, that's 28. And then take the 28 from the 675, 647.
Perfect.
10 points to Sean Paul. OK, time to go across to Dictionary Corner. Dr. John Cooper Clarke, have you got a poem for us, John?
Yes, I do have a poem for you, Jimmy. In the autumn of my years, I need a little help around the house, so I thought, why not get a chimpanzee butler? But then I thought, by nature of its job, he's going to be in that bathroom before I am. You know how inquisitive the higher primates can be. He's going to clock that razor, he's going to pick it up. Ooh, that's shiny. I wouldn't want to be in the same house as a chimpanzee clutching a straight razor. So pay attention to this, and it's called, for obvious reasons, shave off. What would it take to shift you? A bloodstained banana, a Panama tit-for, a piece of an eyelid attached to a Britva? I'm not a fan of enforced euthanasia, but somebody taser the chimp with the razor. You'll never outrun a guy with a gun. You'll never outlive a man with a shiv. A girl with a rifle is never a trifle. Don't clock the wife of a man with a knife. Don't pull a blade, he may have a grenade. Try not to sneer at a girl with a spear. To be hit with a club will be nothing but trouble. Call that trouble, I don't want to phase you, but somebody taser the chimp with the razor. You better not bitch slap a chap with a switch. It will not wash. Carry a cosh. Even then, he may have a Sten gun. You don't want to hammer a man with a camera. You would be liable, it's undeniable. Try not to flannel a man on a camel. Who needs a scimitar around their perimeter? Don't give a snake an even break. If you see an adder, get up a ladder. Most things in existence are prone to resistance, but sometimes not, like this one, for instance. A chimpanzee is not just for Christmas. That centre parting looks quite the business. Drape that ape in your old school blazer, then somebody taser the chimp with the razor.
Dr. John Cooper Clarke, everyone. The scores for the moment, John and Angela have no points. That is nothing so far. Sean and Paul have a maximum of 28. Couldn't be doing better. And here is your teaser. The words are nuts burn, and the clue is there's a cream for that. That's nuts burn, there's a cream for that. See you after the break. Welcome back. The answer to the teaser, the words were nuts burn. The clue was there's a cream for that. It was, of course, sunburnt. OK, they've been playing in teams so far. This game is just for Sean and Angela. So, Angela, you get to choose the letters.
OK, I'll have a consonant, please.
Thank you, Angela. N.
Vowel.
E.
Consonant.
C.
And then all consonants and the last one a vowel, please.
And then, oh, T. H. R. N. And the last one, O.
And your time starts now. Angela, put your finger in. Put your finger in. Pop it in. Pop it in.
You shouldn't have done that. He's got that on backwards.
Sean, how many?
I'm going to take a risky 7.
Angela, how many?
I think I've got an 8.
You've got an 8. Well, Sean, let's hear your 7.
Chunter.
Chunter.
Chunter on.
Angela?
I think Nocturne with an E on the end.
Yes, short composition of a romantic nature.
8 points for Angela. Susan, could they have done any better?
That was a 9. Truncheon.
9-letter word. Dictionary corner, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, this next numbers game is big. It's time for Oxford Maths graduate Paul Foot to go head-to-head with Countdown math legend John Richardson. It's the battle of the super nerds.
He's an Oxford Maths graduate, and I'm slightly better at maths than most of the comics we have on there.
Do you have any trash talk for each other ahead of the battle?
I didn't find any trash talk in the trash can that Paul found his jacket in.
What's 78 million divided by 4,674?
I don't know, do you?
Roughly, I know roughly.
He owned him. You owned him.
You guys have seen professional wrestling, right? There's or like a big boxing match when they sort of hype it up a little bit and they get the purse
Honestly,
a bit
Jimmy,
bigger.
I'm sitting between them and the electricity coming off the bed. It's amazing. I was just...
I've spent years being the guy everyone expects to get the points at maths, and it's delightful to have someone here who'll do a good job of it. Just enjoying being the cool one.
It's not cool not to know numbers. Doesn't change the fact you haven't got a girlfriend.
I haven't got a girlfriend.
No.
I've got a wife.
In fairness, Paul, you don't have a girlfriend either.
No, I don't know. And I haven't got a wife. I've got number, don't need a wife, I've got numbers.
You're in his head now and you're just kicking the shit out of him.
OK, Paul, your turn to pick the numbers.
Just little ones, please, Rachel.
Good.
Oh, do we need makeup for John, because he's, like, sweating?
I don't mind. Stick him on there.
It's not so easy when it's just, oh, multiply 50 by 6, and that's 300, then I add something. This is proper numbers.
I don't mind, as long as it's the same teams when we do Cats Does Countdown Does Hole in the Wall. Because that's due a comeback, and I will fucking destroy the pair of you at home.
Cats Does Countdown does Naked Attraction.
Well, I say we make the pilot tonight.
6 small ones again.
OK, let's see those numbers.
OK, all the little ones. 2, 7, 6, 2, 10, and 4.
Please be 12. Please be 12. Please be 12.
All right, that'll do.
OK, and your time starts now. John, have you got it?
Yeah, I've got it, but it doesn't matter, does it?
Why are you crying, John?
My eye. I've got something in my eye, and I think it might be a sparkle.
Paul, have you got it?
I've got it.
All right, so your first move, please, John, your first move.
7.
OK. Paul, your first move.
7.
Let's speed this up slightly. So what was your first multiplication?
7 plus 4 times 6.
OK, and yours, Paul?
7 plus 4 times 10.
Wait till you hear my next move.
OK, well, you go.
Times 10.
And Paul?
Take the 2 and keep it for later.
Steal Paul's 2. Stick it on my 660 and see what he does then.
662.
Multiplied by 6.
Multiplied by 6.
Add the 2 that is mine. Hey! By right, that is my 2.
10 points to both teams, and I believe maths was the winner. Wow.
For what it's worth, I actually went to the open day at Oxford and I thought they were all pricks.
For what it's worth, they told us they didn't like you either.
They said actually they weren't taking on cleaners.
OK, so John and Angela have 18, Sean and Paul have 38. Time now to go across once again to Dr. John Cooper Clarke. Have you got a poem for us, John?
I do, Jim. I got one more here. It was a birthday present for a fellow citizen of Essex that I've known for many years, lives in Chingford, named Cyril Hornchurch, and he's a collector of jewellery.
Please.
Hence the poem, Solid Gold Geezer, that. Solid Gold Geezer, that. Got a girl in a million, plus that. Wears her hair in a platinum plait, keeps it underneath a Fabergé hat, kissed him on the mouth and spat. Solid gold geezer, that. Solid gold geezer, that. From the solitaire pin through the mint cravat to the snake-eye studs on his kid suede spats. Solid gold geezer, that. Solid gold geezer, that. Self-made aristocrat. Life O'Reilly, no offence. Life O'Reilly, down pat. Ghetto fabulous bingo tat. And a caviar guzzling cat. Home is where it's at. Just him, and that ball of fur. Solid gold geezer, that. Cyril Hornchurch, solid gold geezer.
Dr. John Cooper Clarke, everyone. And here's your teaser. The words are oral pops, and the clue is she said yes. That's oral pops. She said yes. See you after the break. Welcome back. The answer to the tease. The words were oral pops. The clue was she said yes. It was, of course, proposal. OK, before we go on, a chance for our teams to win some bonus points. As is tradition, when we have Dr. John Cooper Clarke with us, we've asked the players all to write poems. John will be judging, of course, and the winning poem gets 5 bonus points. Paul, you are up first. Please, tell us a little bit about your poem before you perform it.
Well, it's about life and death, and it's about the meaningless of life, the pointlessness of everything.
Has it started?
No, it hasn't started. It was you said to make a brief description of what I was about to do.
Yeah, I did say brief, didn't I?
A stenching, rotting corpse tumbles out of a poorly secured coffin. Its frightening, dead face pinning apprentice undertaker Barry Goose to the floor. Back on the dole.
Yeah, that gets the futility across. I can't fault it.
John, you're up next. Tell us a little bit about your poem before you perform it.
People come up to me in the street. They ask me what the correct order of spices is in a spice rack. So that's my poem. This is called Spice Boy. Allspice, bay, caraway. Dill should not be far away. Then come 2 back up empty jars, buy the fennel and the gars, lick and am masala. Jalapeno, how do you do? Kaffir lime leaves next to you. Lemon basil, lemongrass, marjoram, nutmeg on your ass. Oregano, paprika, powdered quince. What the fuck? Quickly, rosemary. Moving on. Sage and sumac, tarragon. Some tricky buggers still to come. Wasabi powder and xanthan gum. Charging forward. Oh my God, I forgot the V. Vanilla pot.
I'll have to say, John, I don't normally give out compliments, but that's the second best poem about spice ordering I've ever heard.
I hope you like the end. Of course, then, yeast for making bread, which leaves us with our old friend Zed. A tiny pinch, good God be frugal. Zatar, it's Arabic, or so says Google. Hold your applause, and please no cheers. This rhyme deserves no round of beers. I tried my best, but made you wince. I know you heard me. Fucking powdered quince. Said about anything, didn't you? I could have written one about shagging, but I went for spices.
Yeah. Stick to what you know, eh? Stick to
Angela, before you start, what's your poem about? Tell us a little bit.
I struggled to find my muse, right? Because that's what you're supposed to have, isn't it, to write a poem? You're supposed to have a muse. So I thought what I'll do is I'll turn the telly on, and whatever comes up first will be my muse. And I turned the telly on, and it was a rerun of Only Fools and Horses. And it turns out Nicholas Lyndhurst is my muse. There once was an actor called Lyndhurst. He made the nation's heart burst. When he played Rodney Trotter, he couldn't be hotter. But don't get me started on Gary Sparrow. He was the worst. You know, the one from Goodnight, Sweetheart. Repeatedly cheated on his wife, didn't kill Hitler.
I thought that was fantastic. I mean, that's one of my MOs, actually. Everything I've heard so far has been wonderful.
Well, don't worry.
Sean.
Now, the thing I'd just like to say about my poem is it's proper poetry. It's a love poem.
Oh.
It's a love poem. Your face is like flowers. Your hair is like grass. Not green grass, no. The yellow grass you get when the fair has moved on. Your eyes aren't your best feature. But let's move on, like the fair. We will get married, but not to each other. Because I work at the undertaker's. And even though I wash my hands thoroughly, you won't let me near you.
That's fantastic.
We had Spice Racks and Nicholas Lyndhurst. We had The Futility of Life and Lost Love. Who's won?
Between the four of you, you've run the gamut. I can't really, in all fairness...
Well, imagine you had to.
OK, all right. The pair of you.
What, 5 points to Paul and Sean? OK, on with the game. Sean, Paul, your turn to choose the letters.
Can we have a consonant, please, Rachel?
Of course you can, Shawnee. L.
Can we have another consonant, please, Rachel?
F.
Consonant, please.
D.
Consonant, please.
P.
Vowel.
I.
Consonant, please.
C.
Vowel.
A.
Vowel, please, Rachel.
E.
And consonant or vowel, please.
And I.
Thank you.
OK, and your time starts now. John, how many?
6.
6. Angela, how many?
6.
6. Paul?
Well, I've got a word, a 9-letter word that isn't a word.
Sean, how many?
6.
OK. Angela?
Placed.
Place. John, you're 6.
Dilate.
Oh.
There's no T.
Really not your night, is it, John?
Sean, you're 6.
My 6 is failed.
Paul, your 9-letter word.
Pick a fiddle. P-I-C-A-F-I-D-L-E. Pick a fiddle. Pick a violin or violinist to fiddle with. When I say pick a violinist to fiddle with, I mean to play the violin with in a duet. Pick a fiddle.
Susie is pick a fiddle.
No, not yet.
Not yet. Dr. John Cooper Clarke, Susie, could they have done any better?
Pacified for 8.
Oh, sexy.
OK, 6 points to both teams. And here is your final teaser. The words are dong drip. The clue is I felt that. That's dong drip. I felt that. See you after the break. Welcome back. The answer to the teaser. The words were dong drip. The clue was I felt that. Of course, it was prodding. OK, time for our final letters game. John, Angela, your turn to choose.
Do you want to pick?
Can I?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, go on then. Can I have 2 consonants?
Yep.
Well, you're not messing around.
No, let's get this done.
Sure.
2 vowels, please.
2 consonants, 2 vowels.
U.
4 consonants and another vowel.
T. N. P. Q.
Let's fuck it.
Oh.
And an E.
OK. Let me play the clock music on the theremin. Can it be done? Of course it can. OK. Your 30 seconds starts now. Is it even fucking on? OK, Angela, how many?
6.
6. OK, John, how many?
I got 6.
Paul, how many?
6.
Sean, how many?
6.
OK, Angela, what is your 6th-letter word?
Mounts.
Mounts. OK, John?
Quotes.
Quotes. Nice. Paul?
Quotes.
Oh, you're just toying with them, are you?
Oh, quotes. Got that one easily. Not even worth getting, is it?
Sean, your 6th-letter word?
I had quotes as well.
6 points to both teams. John Cooper Clarke, Susie Dent, could they have done any better than 6?
Yeah, they could have got there's a 7 here, spumoni. It's an Italian dessert.
OK, so John and Angela have 30, Sean and Paul have 55. OK, fingers on buzzers. Time for today's Countdown Conundrum. Your time starts now. Oh, Paul.
Lose the ding.
Angela's got it.
Socialising.
No.
No! John had it really.
Alongside.
That's all I can see. Spectacularly bad, Angela. Well, that's a bit of dignity there at the end, but it wasn't quite enough. So at the end of that, John and Angela have 40, Paul and Sean have 55. They're the winners. The proud winners of this, the Countdown round, tap shoes. Thanks to all our panellists, our wonderful studio audience, and to all of you for watching at home. That's it from us. Good night.
It's the drama that Russell T Davies has been waiting years to do. It's a Sin, and it's tomorrow night at 9. Next tonight here on Channel 4, we've had to wait for this to return, but when it's Mitchell and Webb, well, you know it's going to be worth the wait for them to be back. Series 2 begins after the break.